This is why I like driving to work, because I get to drive by all this. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
What is home to you?
Oh. Hoping is believing in something greater than yourself.
In the early 90s, I was running environmental programs in my native country, Chile, when I came across some Peace Corps volunteers. They told me up here in Seattle, there was a similar organization running similar programs, and they were looking for partners in different countries. That's how my first connection started. My role at EarthCorps today focuses in building new relationships with communities of color in South Seattle and in the cities of Tukwila and Burien, primarily. One of the most significant aspects of my work is the opportunity to connect with an incredible array of people who shown an incredible level of resilience and creativity and their capacity to overcome the challenges they face. That has always been an inspiration for me, and it fuels my enthusiasm, my energy in my work every day.
I think teamwork and crew bonding are some of the most important aspects of the work we do. These are the qualities that we need if we're going to take on these large-scale issues like climate change. Last year, I was working at an office job near my hometown in southeastern Pennsylvania, and just hearing about everything happening, I felt like I couldn't sit idly by anymore. So I took a risk and I quit my job, moved across the country, and pursued this new purpose. Some of the things I enjoy about crew leading is that it is both challenging and empowering. You know, it's one thing to learn restoration, but it's a whole other thing to have to teach and lead crews out on these projects. There's a lot going on all the time, and I find that to be really exciting, you know?
So today we're working at Sacagawea Park, which is a green space in North Seattle. I'm working with volunteers to remove a non-native plant called English ivy.
Sometimes when I'm leading volunteer events, I get this question: why don't you just get a bulldozer or hire a group of people to come out here to do this work? And my answer to them is always that it's so important that we involve everybody in the work that we do, because I think that's the only way that we can really get people to be invested in taking care of the land. We live in a world that I think sometimes discourages building true and authentic relationships with people. Our work in environmental restoration can only succeed if we can work with other people across difference. So that's really why I value the work that I do at EarthCorps, because strangers are forced to hang out with me.
We want to honor all EarthCorps past and all EarthCorps has done to get us where we're at and to steward the land and really shift it in a new direction to propel it forward to what we need to really solve the climate crisis.
When you think about the environmental justice movement, those are all spaces that are primarily white dominated. This means that voices of people of color, as well as other historically marginalized groups, have been either intentionally or unintentionally excluded from these movements and from these spaces.
It's no longer enough to focus only in restoring the land. We have to do more. The communities of color in underserved communities are the ones suffering the most from this negative impact in the land.
We need to start to trust communities to know what they need and know what they want to see in the green spaces that surround them.
We want to first listen, be close, and connect with the community first, and with them start developing solutions that are going to be more sustainable, more appropriate, and more relevant for the communities that we're trying to serve.
If we want people to build relationships with the land, we have to ensure that they have access to green spaces. You can't expect people to love something that they don't have access to.
So we have to have hope. That's the only way we're gonna get out of this crisis, is by believing that we can. Believing that there are solutions and that we can achieve them and that we will get out of this together.
The work is endless, but week after week, year after year, at EarthCorps, people are coming out to do this work, reaching back before colonization when indigenous tribes were still caring and tending for the land, even in the face of impossibility. That's why I think it's important to put people first. That's how you build a new community and a new generation of people who care.